Hello everyone! This match features yet again that rare use of that super that is a pretty bad super. Anyways, I don't know if I want to be posting this, but tonight is recording night, so let's go. This is a map from, this is the round 2 map, if I'm not mistaken, from the latest A Mariner Cup, the number 5. And this is a high level game. We have Random Ways, who is such a fun player to watch. He plays very much live. He plays very well. Actually, I have a game I played against him that I should probably make a video out of. That was a lot of fun. And then we have Michael Osbel, or Michael. This is the first time I think that I see this player, but they're both in Division 1. They're both good players. Definitely Random Ways is going to be the favorite here. So let's get into the match, no? So this is an old style kind of map, okay? So this is 3 base map. You got 2 airports. You got one over here in the back, in the middle, and then you got one over here so very much forward. So this is going to be the very strong airport. You're going to have some very choky pathways as well. Like very narrow, right? And like so much hard terrain, or I guess water as well. I'm not sure if that's part terrain, but anyways, you got mountains and sea tiles, stuff that vehicles can't go through, which makes it very narrow, very choky, so very artillery heavy, or prone to that. And like front switching here, forget about it. Like if you're over here, you have a tank over here and you're blocked off and you want to send it over here to the middle, you have to go all the way around. So it's going to be very important to control these areas of front switching. This map was actually made by the man himself, Voice of Akasha. And yeah, this is a pretty old map. Like this is it was kind of the standard back in the day to have very narrow maps. Then slowly the map meta evolved into more like wider fronts and more front switching. And now we're somewhere in the middle where we have people experimenting with more narrow maps and stuff like that. So I think we're in a good spot mapping wise. But let's get into a map. I don't know, I just go into branches of thoughts all the time. We're gonna have this infantry, definitely a no-brainer path over here, right? You start capturing the city and then you pass towards the airport. So it doesn't feel very contested. I wonder if there was maybe some recon build, but like from this base, but I don't know. It'd probably be too easy to spot. I'm actually surprised that both of these players went for Sasha. So we have a Sasha mirror. I would consider picking Javier here, right? Very narrow, lots of RDs, very hard to front switch, which even makes RDs even better. But you can also say copters are very good, right? Because you have all these sea tiles and RDs. So what I always say, like when RDs are good, copters are also good. You know, people love to say, oh, there's so many RD here, like Max is horrible. And it's like, yeah, but his copters are amazing. Like, he doesn't even need artillery sometimes. Anyways, day six, no shots fired just yet. Just a lot of positioning. They both made the same first vehicle tank from the same base. Now we have a preemptive anti-air because you got the airport right here, which makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised to see. Oh, I guess, okay, Michael decides to make a copter instead of the anti-air to respond here, even though there is an anti-air here. But it is going to be very strong because this copter can either decide to support over here, an interrupt over here, or it can just fly over the water and go towards these properties in the middle. So there's probably going to be a lot of ideas here, mainly these 2 properties to see if they can contest them, and then this city right here seems to be like the most contested. So yeah, let's see what happens as the development of the infantry is kind of slow because they got the slow cap of the middle base, so these are gonna take a while. So vehicles are gonna get there even faster than infantry, so it's gonna make those cities incredibly contested. It's gonna be so hard to cap them. Random Ways getting the first position here in the middle. This tank has had a very long journey from the base, but it's going to be faced with 2 tanks. He already has the defense with his anti-air against this copter, so he'll probably leave this anti-air in this area to ward off this copter, potentially lock down the airport, and then he can respond to air threats with his own copter from this airport right here. So we're clearly seeing an important positioning moment in the middle. So I got this copter now here, so it's gonna be a matter of like, ooh, do I bring the copter? No anti over here, so this copter could. I mean, there's not much to do over here, but this image is gonna want to capture that in the next 2 turns. So we got the double copter, no anti-air for Michael, just double tank, double copter, and this tank actually, ooh, okay, so wasn't it like over here last turn? It now switched over here to this area to respond to this anti-air. So now this anti-air has a big decision, and randomly has a decision of, okay, do I make a tank here? If you make a tank, I think you have to base skip for a copter. So maybe tank anti-air. Oh, to see. Imaging moving in, we got this kind of position for that city. Can't say the same thing for Michael over there, as he is going for the counter, so he could like skip it and go for that and then send this guy over here, right? So there are options. He is not going to position, wow, he's not going to position to cap, he's just going to stay away. Oh, because he's not going to make a tank, he's going to make an RD. So he needs to stay away from that tank. Doesn't want to give away free shots. And even if you like if you stand to interrupt, the tank can just shoot at it and block you from interrupting. So I think that makes sense. So successful there by Michael. He's gonna be able to get this city without any opposition whatsoever. Over here, I don't think you can say the same thing. I think Michael over here can make an anti this turn. He does have 2 copters now. These copters are just floating in that water, just so menacing. It's like you need, I'm telling you, like areas are just so strong. When RDs are good, copters are good too. Man, I'm just gonna have to get tired of repeating that, because all people just, I don't know, just don't think about that. But yeah, he's gonna make an enter. He is gonna move forward to go for that city with confidence, because he has his enter and no tank whatsoever from random ways, right? Like his closest tank is this is his only tank, mind you. Literally the only tank that random ways has is this one in the middle. So Michael could very well like sacrifice a copter or a tank just to take it out, and then this anti is just gonna roam free. I guess he could front switch it, but it's in range of this copter, so he can't. Oh man, tricky stuff. Copter gonna get a shot there. Apparently Random Ways got a little an oversight there and left that unprotected. Also, worth noting that they pretty much played this match live. Like that was very funny. They must have played it within, I don't know, a few hours. I was kind of watching it there on a side tab. So there's gonna be some mistakes made for sure, as that one, the anti-air. Perhaps he needed it there, I'm not sure. But the tank is gonna front switch. It isn't really, oh, this copter. Okay, but he does make another tank now. So he's gonna have 2 possible tanks to respond to this anti-air threat. It's all about those triangles. And actually, ooh, wow, the anti-air from Michael is not gonna go towards this side. So maybe he's not gonna go for this capture, because there you have all these threatening infantries from Random Ways here. And no support, right? Okay, he is. So he's just gonna support it with infantry. Maybe next turn with an RD, he can come over here and like lock it down and protect the capture. But man, tricky, because you have the airport got this copter as well. I guess he was forced to move the anti towards the middle because of the he was forced to move the anti over here because of this copter. That actually got a shot there on that com tower guy. And there you have it. We got these 2 cities as the most contested, just because vehicles get there faster than the infantry do. And Michael is gonna get this. Well, he got this. We'll see if he'll be able to get this as well, if Random Ways will allow it. I think if he wants to, he can get into a battle over here. He can just do like 1 shot over here, attack from the road or from the mountain just to have that tile. Then he'll have like 4 supporting infantry, so he should be winning this overall in the next few turns. So you're gonna get a shot there, start and take it out and start the capture. And this copter is not in, okay, it is, okay, never mind, it is in range to interrupt, but there is a supporting anti-air right here. He does not go for the mountain. He then goes for the double hit, the lucky 30% roll to hit KO right there. He gets it. Of course he does. Randomize always gets the rolls. He's gonna make another copter here to maintain this attack. Since I think an anti-air will reach like 2, 4, 6. Okay, so it will reach right here. So he can keep attacking here and make an anti-air supported from this. But now I got the double tank coming. It's gonna be tricky. Randomize is definitely gonna be looking to get this and apparently this. Now Michael is in a tough spot of like, okay, do I send an infantry to interrupt, delay, and then get destroyed by an arty? Do I send a copter? You can definitely send a copter and then it gets taken out by this anti-air. Maybe if you do like copter then infantry, I don't know. Could be worth. Okay, he sends the infantry instead. So that one is gonna go down. But that is injuring all of the infantry from randomly, so it's gonna make it tough to actually get this capture. And I guess you could send the anti-air there. It's gonna be tricky. We're gonna have some more infantry fight here. We're gonna have this position here in the middle. They're both definitely trying to actively deny the other one from getting and possibly get it for themselves. I don't know. He's just gonna take out that infantry and join the two injured ones to have a healthy one still in range of there. And actually, wow, dang. We have the battleship drop by Randomize right here. We haven't seen a power used just now. In Sasha Mirrors, it's very awkward because you kind of have to use the power. Like, usually when you're not against another Sasha, you try to maximize the use of your power so that you make sure to drain their charge at the right moment and all that kind of stuff. But against another Sasha, it's like, you better use that power first or else they're gonna get it before you, right? And then you're not gonna have it because she is gonna drain your charge. So it's like, you have to be careful of the attacks you get into so you can ensure to get it first. Because those extra stats definitely matter, man. They really do. And it's just like, you get extra stats and they don't, pretty much. So it's like, you're gonna have better trades, more defense as well in the other turn. So over here, Battleship is gonna lock down this. So he had had the copter there just like hovering on top of the city, just advanced force physics that infantry can't go into a city if there's a copter all the way in the top. It's just how the physics works in this game, apparently. But because now he did have the support of the anti and stuff, he couldn't do that little thingy anymore. So he decided to buy a friggin' 28k battleship to ensure that not only this city doesn't go through, but also this one, I guess. So now these tanks and this copter are relieved from the task of going over here, and they can focus more on the middle. We're gonna keep having some more infantry sacrifices over here. He starts the capture and brings out the battleship to point at that artillery, just to be like, you can interrupt my capture, but I'm gonna shoot down your artillery. And I have another supporting infantry to join cap and make sure that I get this, because he really wants to get these two and get that income advantage. They are currently, Michael has a slight advantage just by this city, and Randomize is trying to actively stop that. But it's getting tricky here in the middle. It's looking much better army-wise for Michael right here. He got 4 tanks, 2 copters, and anti-air. Randomize has, okay, because he sent one of these tanks, but he has 2 tanks, 1 copter, and anti-air. Why is it? Because he bought he spent 28k on a single battleship. We will see if that pays off or not. Then he stopped this capture for one turn, but now that it's moved off, I guess it's also locking down that base. Wow, I hadn't realized. So that base is kind of a goner for now. And Michael made a bomber last turn to respond to this battleship. Usually your best counters to battleship are going to be a bomber. I guess you can also make a sub, but it is in range of that battleship. A sub would have been really funny, but yeah, it is in range. Like, Randomize would have just shot down that sub and then just block it up or something. Bomber's gonna be great, man. If copters are good here, imagine bombers. Let's see if Michael decides to interrupt that, and he does. He goes, okay, he gets a 6-6 trade. Kind of a bad trade there. and he is gonna barely interrupt that. Okay, moves off the already from the battleship range, but it seems like the city is gonna go through for random base, but he still has other cards in his hand. You know, he's gonna start this capture and the one over on this side, so he's going for both captures, and he has a good healthy number of supporting infantry, right? He's gonna have these 2 supporting this, 3 supporting this, and a few more coming as well. Got the bomber now in the middle position. Only a single anti-air in the middle for random ways to defend from that bomber. And now we have a fighter, because Michael knows that random ways is gonna want to make a fighter right here to defend the battleship from the bomber. So preemptively making that that counter fighter. So let's see. Capture gonna go through there. Does not join cap. Okay, interesting. I guess this already guarantees that random is gonna get this capture, and that's gonna put them at equal. But there's a whole lot of other captures here, so we'll see what happens. He's actually gonna go and interrupt that and that. Okay. I think he blasts away that infantry that had interrupted last turn. He brings back the battleship to support. Unfortunately for the bomber, it's gonna take it is just shy of by 1 tile, but that just makes it an additional turn. It would have been 2 turns, but then just by 1 tile, that's gonna mean 3 turns. And wow, and randomly does not make a fighter. He actually makes another copter. Okay, so just wanna maybe just spam copters and overwhelm with copter numbers here. If he is able to take out the copters and perhaps how do you say, like, weed out the anti-air, you know, like if Michael sends the anti-air to take out the copter and then he takes it out with tanks, and then his copter can have free reign. He does make another anti-air wisely. I think maybe a fighter makes sense to deter the bomber, so it doesn't get literal free positioning. Like it can just go and fly somewhere wrong. It can go and take out this infantry, and there's nothing to answer it. So, and yeah, that's exactly what he's gonna do. And just look at that coverage, man. Bombers are so beautiful. Best unit in the game. Gonna keep interrupting over there, so that is gonna effectively be delayed another turn. He's gonna have to join another infantry there. Even getting a shot with that copter, so that's gonna force some repairs onto random ways. Some expensive repairs. Mind you, that's like what, 5,600 per turn in repairs. It's a lot. So even has like he'll have another copter in range. He has the anti-air. Well, no, I guess he can't have the anti-air in range, or else he'll get shot down. So the only thing that can really support it is the fighter. But now the fighter is also in range of that airport. So if Randomways decides to make a fighter now, it's going to be a little bit too late, because Michael can just get the first strike right there. It is going to repair on that airport, which is kind of funny. You usually don't see air units repair in Advanced Warfare Web, but we'll see if that happens. Maybe you could block it off. Maybe you can put like the tank or something. I don't know. But man, this is scary. You got the fighter, you got the bomber, you got a few copters as well. Like, he only has this single anti, so he needs to make sure that it is safe and alive, because Randomways does have the copter spam going. So in a moment of I'm not sure what the word it is that I'm looking for, but that in the moment that Michael or that Randomways sees a hole and is able to snipe out that anti-air, is going to be a problem for Michael. Don't want to allow that air superiority, and Randomways gets the charge for a power, so he uses that market crash. So he's going to get the extra stats. Maybe with some of these engagements, it'll even allow Michael to get his own power next turn. I'm just gonna, I think he is gonna block off, can he? Okay, he is gonna try to block it off to not allow a first strike. So I think it's probably a losing battle, right? Remember, areas don't get defense from terrain tiles, so it would be like a 4-8, and then it repairs up to 6, and then you're still losing the battle. So yeah, not a good thing to allow. But if he wants to, he can still send the bomber and take out this tank. Let's see, blocks there. Okay, he actually does that. Okay, he does block. Is this good enough? Is this good enough of a wall that it doesn't allow the fighter to attack? Maybe. Actually, maybe. I think he can maybe copter, and this copter can take this out. I'm not sure if there's enough firepower, especially against the extra defense right now. But he's gonna go for that first strike and go for a little interrupt there. And he's gonna have to send this other infantry to finish that off to ensure that that flip does not go through. And if he does that, then this city is not gonna flip for a while. Bomber's gonna get a shot at the battleship instead. So that fighter, okay, it actually went and took out a copter. Okay, battleship, boom, dropping the battleship down to 5. It's gonna cost even more repairs. It's not gonna deal as much damage as it would do at full HP. These units are now moving out a little bit more comfortable because the battleship is injured, so he feels more comfortable in putting them into range of this soon-to-be 7 HP battleship. Takes out the interrupting infantry and starts the capture. Moves out a little bit, and pretty much Michael is gonna have more light vehicles because of the battleship. Well, actually, let me take that back. Since he bought the bomber and fighter, and now another fighter. Dang, what is this? High funds? I think the what do you say, when you spend a lot of money, oh man, I'm what's up with my loss of words. Bomber's gonna go down by the fighter. It's like, you know, when you start like, oh, splurging, you know, the splurge of money here has just been out of this world. Another fighter here by random ways. Michael did not use the power last turn, and that bomber kill also gave him a ton of charge. He uses the market crash, while he only has 300 funds. That goes after he bought the fighter. Like, come on, man. I mean, would it have drained enough charge from Michael to make a difference? Maybe not. So he's still using it just for the stats. Okay, he's gonna get that. It's just for extra stats because maybe Michael will use the power and then he won't be able to use his. Again, what we were talking in the beginning, it's like when you get the power, you kind of have to use it, or else you're just not going to because they're gonna steal it from you. But yeah, we got the double fighter here, another double fighter. You got the battleship now. I guess the bomber didn't end up getting too much value. It did shoot at the battleship, dealt like 14,000, forcing some repairs. Then it got taken out. And will Michael use the power? He actually decides to use the super. So I think I did give you the spoilers in the intro though that there was going to be a super. I don't think I told you who was going to use the super, but yeah, here is the super. He's gonna get, the only thing that the super from Sasha does is get money from attacks. That is it. That is it. Literally, like no additional anything. It's just you get money. I think it's somewhat equal to the amount of damage you do. I don't remember. But yeah, pretty much you just get cash from attacks, from dealing damage. So he's gonna go for a few of these attacks, mainly this, like the fighter and then the copter attack. Those, perhaps, I'm not sure what they shot at, but those two were probably the biggest value hits. So it gave him some cash. He's now at 40. He was at like 20. So it got him like 20k funds. Let's see if he can get a little bit more. Okay, gotta get some shot. Okay, I guess the tank as well there. That's probably gonna be it though. A few infantry hits there. He doesn't get this breakthrough that he would have wanted to attack with this tank onto this anti and get even more cash, but also just injure an anti, which is kind of important. And yeah, with that cash, he makes a fighter and triple tank. I'm not sure that the third fighter is needed. It's also not in chain with this one. I guess you couldn't make it from here because this anti could have shot at it, so that's fair. But pretty much the war bonds bought him an extra fighter. Wasn't necessary though, and would have market crash and like multiple following market crash would have been better. That's a question that I'm gonna leave for you guys to think. Well, random ways triple base kept for that other fighter last turn. Dang, this guy, wild. He's actually gonna start the capture there. Was able to end up winning the fight. Looks like by the RD, it was able to take out the two tanks. Just Michael a little bit too committed in holding this city at all cost. You know, very Poland-ish, and just losing a lot of value over there. Battleship is almost back to full HP, so it's that's a very expensive battleship right there. He'll almost have paid double the price for the battleship. Gonna get the interrupt there with the battleship. I guess you could say that the battleship is somewhat paying for its, like, not, it's not paying for itself. It's like marginally by interrupting the capture over here. Okay, gets a shot there. So a little bit more repairs. Okay, you're gonna get some fighter shots there. But Randomway is not even attacking the other fighter last turn with the full HP one. He decided to take out a copter. So he's definitely gonna lose this air battle. And now Michael's able to sit on that airport. And now this third fighter is kind of like pointless. It's not gonna do anything. I guess you can still have it to, I don't know, lock down this, or I don't know, whatever. There just isn't any air units for Randomoids, and what seemed to be an okay buy of the battleship is now not looking too strong. The forces from Michael have successfully still like pushed out from here, and it looks like he can get maybe the Vulture's gonna take this out again, but maybe he'll get this capture instead, as these vehicles are gonna be blocking off these guys that would have wanted to interrupt. This tank could interrupt, but the infantry has to take the artillery out. Will it work? I don't know. Now he makes another bomber. Damn. I like how this guy plays because he's already made 2 bombers, and bombers are the best units. He's gonna sit on the airport over here just to sit on it, and he is gonna keep interrupting that. So, but this is actually a very nice spot because it's gonna force Randomoids to move off and take it out, effectively denying the city for another, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 turns. So definitely very worth it. You can just make more copters, even have the tanks there supporting. This already just gonna keep getting more shots. This is just like the meat grinder. The city has seen so many deaths all around it. It's crazy. Random is gonna use the power now. Now he has with fun, so he actually drains the charge from Michael. Okay, what did the battleship do? Okay, he kills the infantry. Oh, it's because there's this tank over here, and there's no tanks from him left in the middle, which allows this tank now to go and shoot at that guy, which allows this anti to be a little bit more safe. It also, I guess, allows that 1 HP anti to attack over there, but that's gonna get taken out. That is not in range of the tank, so that is safe for the anti to do. Mega's gonna be happy to get a shot there to finish off that 2 HP tank. Finish that off. Okay, I hadn't seen that little set of actions, but that's nice. He's gonna be able to get that little interrupt there, but it looks like this city flip is after 17 turns, or I don't know, probably like 10 turns of battle. It is finally gonna get flipped by Michael. So many units have been sent here. There has probably been sent. There's probably been sent. Oh my god, why can't I say this phrase? There's probably been more units sent over here on this city that have died. Another copter has died now, and the city has still not been able to be flipped. Michael just sending everything, just full Poland over here, stopping that capture. Now he gets that. Now he has double capture. He is ahead in captures over Randomoids. He also has this one in the middle, which Random doesn't have. So he is effectively 3 cities ahead of Randomoids. He could be another city over here, maybe in a few turns. Well, we'll see. He uses the power now. He's gonna get a shot on that mech. 8-6, okay. Gonna first strike these tanks with those extra stats against same stats, I guess, because of the power. I guess the bomber it's the second bomber to try to take out that battleship. That battleship just does not want to die. It's gonna require 2 bombers. Now, very, very wisely, doesn't put anything in range of the arty, of course. But now this Randomoids has to respect it. There are double tanks, and I mean, yeah, you can start capturing, but there's just a bit too many. You have triple infantry to interrupt. You got tanks to push through, to attack the anti, to attack the arty. You got the copter that eventually is going to be able to also attack the arty as well. So not looking good for Randomoids at all, pretty much anywhere. I don't think he's gonna be able to flip this at all. He's gonna need more units, especially against this copter, especially because he doesn't have the air control as well. You got the fighters as well, just patrolling everything. If he decides to make anything from here, these fighters are just gonna zoom by. So yeah, air control is on Michael's side, and he actually pulls back from the middle. He's kind of overextended, but he was able to get this and deny this, and he will probably just stay there and deny the siege from going through. Randomly is going to try to go for that capture. He's going to try to go for this capture. This is what he needs to bring the game back to even. Unit count is pretty similar. He's down on unit value, and like a fourth maybe or a fifth of his army is in this one single unit. But then again, for Michael, he does have a lot of value in just these air units. I don't know. It's hard to judge. The thing is that air superiority is very strong. This airport is gonna, it can start pumping out copters every single turn, and it's gonna be very hard for Random Waste to deal with it if he, you know, can't deal. If he can't answer with his own copters or fighters. He has to be running around making anti-airs all over the place, which means he can't make tanks. So he's gonna be losing the tank battle. Copter just gonna go in and take out this tank. Okay, we can probably put the tank here and block off any anti-air shenanigans attacking the airport. He's gonna go double infantry attack, gets the roll. Okay, nice. And now, after all this time, he decides to make a battleship of his own, but without base skipping. Infantry is gonna just stand there. Bomber is menacingly looking at that battleship, ready to start shooting at it. You got the fighter also in position to shoot at any fighter builds from Random Waste, which he can buy. Triple base skip, that is. He does get this capture, it seems like. I kind of missed that. Looks like Michael didn't go for an attack, or maybe Random Waste, I don't know, just send stuff forward to block. Infantry get taken out. Another poke over there, and that one is also going to get taken out. But this battleship is effectively shutting this down. Like that capture is just not going to go through. It could have also stopped this, but yeah, a little bit too late. But this is fine. This will hold that. And okay, tank did go over there to stop this anti from doing any shenanigans. Sacrifices the fighter onto this fighter, and was that enough for the power? Okay, and uses the power, moves off, and uses okay, and makes a cruiser. Oh god, what? I mean, wouldn't a fighter make more sense? I guess the cruiser is cheaper, right? It's 18k instead of 20k. So he doesn't have to base skip as much. Oh man, he only has to do one base skip instead of 3. The thing is that the bomber is gonna wreck that cruiser, right? How much does it do? I guess it has a power. Okay, it doesn't do damage. It'll do 5 or 6, and then it gets countered back by like 3 or 4, and then it heals back. So you're gonna lose that bomber. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. If the cruiser is on the port and has the power, it looks like it's not that bad for the cruiser. Plus you have the anti-air support as well. So not bad here, but I would assume this bomber is just gonna go and destroy the battleship. Is it a one-shot? We'll have to see. Ooh, these are at 3. Dang. And I think that bomber is just gonna go down. I don't think the cruiser takes it out completely. We'll see if he can like loop around. Battleship's gonna interrupt that, of course. And he's also gonna interrupt there. All these tanks are getting streamed over towards the middle to ensure that Random Waste doesn't get away with any shenanigans, and to make sure to just shut down all these anti-airs. Michael has just more tanks, right? There's 3 tanks and a half. Random Waste has 1.5. You got this one perhaps, but you got these as well. There's just way too many tanks for Michael. Look, there's 11 tanks versus 7. So Michael is just ahead on that tank count. He's gonna be able to really zone out and control where those anti-airs go for Random Waste, which is the only thing that he can do against the air superiority by Michael. actually allows a first strike with the anti-air. It looks like he didn't mind getting it shot after dropping the battleship back down to 3. And the cruiser, the MVP, is gonna get definitely not the MVP, but I mean, it did get a shot onto the fighter. Not sure why Michael just left it there hanging for the cruiser to just get free damage there. Maybe just to get charged. I don't know, maybe a sort of like decision moment of like, do you use the cruiser to shoot at my bomber or my fighter? Not sure. Randomize is gonna join cap there, but this battleship should still be able to drop it down to like 5, I think. So that'll still be interrupted. And no follow-up infantry in range to join cap, so that'll probably be stopped. This mech cannot join onto that infantry. Somehow this army is pushing out a little bit, but I don't think he can get that capture. It's going to give it a 3. Okay, yeah, it does much more damage than I was thinking. Okay, and Bomber is going to keep shooting at that battleship. It's now down to 1. Then the amount of repairs that Randomize must have paid in this game for this battleship is out of this world. Michael, now feeling more comfortable in the middle, has 4 infantry and a half, so he can interrupt that. He can start capturing over here, has a little bit more support, send some of the tanks that were in the middle over to the left, because Randomize was just too boldly just pushing out with all these vehicles, so he doesn't want to allow that. Even puts the tank in range of there too, because it's like, whatever, I can shoot at it with my battleship next turn. It keeps attacking over here and uses the power to drain that charge. And yeah, I mean, pretty much a 1 game here by Michael. I don't see much that Randomize can do to turn this around. Michael would have to do some massive mistakes. Bomber and fighter are finally down. This cruiser got a lot of damage done. It was allowed to do so though. You still got this 8 HP fighter, no air units for Randomize. I guess you have this single copter over here. But dang, like we were seeing so many copters early on, right? And now there's none for Michael, and now Randomize is starting to pump those copters out again over here. Getting this guy in position. Okay, now it's back to Michael's turn. I feel like the lack of copters can be a problem though. He does have a lot of tanks, so maybe a few more copters would be nice, maybe from here, and just make sure to like destroy this battleship. This airport area is so strong. Fighter's still gonna get some damage in there. It looks like free because no anti-airs or cruisers can reach it. So just getting some more shots onto those copters. Another first strike on a tank over there. Uses a market crash. Fighter's gonna have to somewhat front shift. He wants it over here. It is locking down that airport now, so that's nice. It is out of range of the anti-air and the cruiser. And just kind of holding back. Just like, it looks like he's happy to just control both of these cities. Control this city and try to get this flip. And then just keep brawling everywhere and just trade down value. He's gonna be ahead. He's earning more money. If their fights are equal, but he has more money, he's just gonna be ahead, you know, in the long run. That's kind of the way. And Randomize realizes it and does not seem to see to find a way to change the state of the game and taps out. So that's gonna be the end of the road for him in this tournament. That was a fun game. Crazy Sasha mirror brawling everywhere, lots of powers, and we got to see one war bond. Was it worth it for that extra fighter? That was probably this one that was just like floating around the whole game. You guys tell me. A lot of people out there love to overhype stuff that maybe doesn't deserve the hype. I don't know. But to me, it doesn't seem that good of a super. It did give 20k, yeah, fighter. Maybe if it was put into something else, it could have been of more value. I don't know. What do you guys think? War bonds, is it overhyped? Is it not? Is it perfectly hyped? Is it underhyped? You tell me. I personally don't feel very amused by war bonds. I still haven't seen a moment where it's like, whoa, it's so expensive, man. It's 6 stars, and market crash is so good. You literally remove the chance of the other one to use the power, and you also get extra stats, which is pretty important. So using the super one time versus using the power like 3 times, 4 times in a row, it's a pretty big decision. I don't know if an extra fighter kind of makes up for it, right? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, all that. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.